Hi and welcome to the channel. My name is Imad, and in this video I want to talk to you about personal finances and show you this really powerful tool that helps you keep track of all your finances and track them all in one place. This is a spreadsheet built on Google Sheets, so you can access it on your computer, but you can also access it on your mobile device on the go, which is what I'm doing here. It has built-in Google script, a lot of it, that links different parts of the sheet. So it's really functional and useful and helps you plan and really reach your financial goals. It's also user-friendly, and there are things that if you delete things that you should not, they do come back. And I'll get to that here. But here I'll start with talking about the net worth, which we have a table here that shows assets and liabilities. There's sinking funds on the bottom. This is a table you can hide, but it's if you want to track accounts or money you have for things that you're going to spend in the short term, so you don't want to include in your net worth because you know you're spending. I take the approach of having a vacation fund. I have a medical fund, and you can have different funds so that you can save into them monthly and make those larger purchases at one time or several times throughout the year. On the right side here, there are nice graphics that show you your net worth over time. That's on the bottom, and that's automatic. Every day, once you're using the sheet, it tracks your net worth and plots it so you know how you're doing over time. Your asset breakdown is shown so you can see if you're maybe not balanced, and maybe you have say too much in your property or whatever. You can look at it there to rebalance. And it does say combined net worth because there is a built-in functionality that lets you separate your personal and your combined net worth. If you're a couple that wants to separate finances, even if you have combined finances, maybe, and that's the case here, maybe you just want to see if there are accounts only under one person. You want to see who owns which accounts. So it's color coded. So when I click on toggle account owner here, it'll let you select the account owner. And if it's blue, it'll be the primary person. If it's pink, that's the secondary person. And if it's yellow, that's a joint account with both people on the account. So on the drop down here, you can select link to personal net worth, person one, person two, or joint. When you link to personal net worth, let me just hide this account owner. We're not going to do anything with it here. But if I link to a personal net worth, what it does is it'll show you, it'll give you a drop down so you can select an account from your personal net worth and link it. That way, so here, Max has a personal net worth on his own without joint accounts of $126,000. But he just sets that up once. And now he's always looking at the combined net worth. But if he changes account values for something that's in his personal net worth, that'll automatically update. The drop downs on the left here, these are you can add a subheading. You can add 5 subheadings at a time. You can delete the last subheading, or you can delete the entire section. So see here how I just added 5 subheadings at a time. It did the formatting for you so you don't have to worry about it. It also updated the total. So now if I put a number in any of these new subheadings, well, it's hard for you to, let me put a big number. So you see that changed dramatically. Okay, so that is done. What else do I want to talk about? Let's talk about the sinking funds a little bit. So these people have a vacation fund, they have a medical fund. They're tracking gift cards here. You get a lot of gift cards maybe throughout the year, and sometimes you just throw them in a drawer somewhere and you forget what you got. So this is a nice reminder. The numbers on the side with the green bars, these are your goals. So in a vacation fund, he's got $5,400 with a goal of $10,000. Let me clear that goal and show you what happens. When you clear the goal, that disappears. Let me put a new goal of $12,000. When I put a new goal, it'll show me how close I am to reaching that goal. And say the goal was really big, I would be in the red. And it shows me how far I am from reaching it. Well, how does it know how far I am from reaching it? That's because, like I said, the spreadsheet is linked. And under your budget, if you're saving for something that's in your anywhere in the net worth, and you put in and you assign it a goal, it'll go look to see how much you're saving each month. So for vacation fund here, they are saving $500 a month. So if they keep saving $500 a month and they still have to save the difference here, so $7,400, it'll take them a year and a month to reach that goal. But if, say, they increase this to $800 in their budget, which at the bottom here, they can see they still have $310 left over after they do that. So they have room to do that. And when they do that, and next time they make a change here on the sheet, that goal will update. So here now it takes them 8 months. It'll take them 8 months to reach that goal. This is probably enough discussion for the net worth. So let's get into the budget. Under budget, you can track your income or put in your income, put in all your expenses, split up by needs and wants, and then make a plan for your savings. And on the right here, it shows you how that gets split. And it shows you when you categorize each spending, it shows you how and what categories that those are in. So Max and Sam, they both work. Max brings in $3,500 bi-weekly. Sam brings in $2,000 bi-weekly. And they have a love for photography, and they have a side hustle where they do wedding photography, and they bring in about $2,500 monthly. You could put in a pay date, and I recommend you do, because when you go to cash flow, if you put in just one pay date for any paycheck, it forms a pay schedule for you, and it'll tell you when you're going to be paid next. We'll talk about that more of that shortly. When I said the spreadsheet was helpful, see here how there's a formula for the total? Well, say I just deleted that formula, and we need the formula because it affects the sheet. Well, look at that. That number just came back. For categories for income, I won't go through all of them, but there's different categories. Then you get into expenses. Same idea, you put in the amount, you put in the frequency. Most of them will be monthly, but say, for example, here for gas, they put in weekly. So when they go into cash flow, here where it creates, it gives you a new line for each expense you have. If they put in monthly for gas, they would just have one line and it would be what they're spending in the entire month. But instead, if they put in weekly, it goes in for the current month. And see here on the 8th, it put in a value, it put in a line, and on the 15th, a whole week later, it put in another line. And if you put in weekly, instead of picking one due date, you can pick in a weekday, and that's how it'll know what date you plan to spend that money. And for categories, there are many. So you can go through these. Then there are wants down here, same idea, and there are savings. The idea with the savings is that anything you're saving, you're going to be putting in an account that's in your net worth. It's an account in your name. So when you do add a savings, it's going to automatically prompt you to select an account that's in your net worth. So you can choose between personal net worth, combined net worth, or you can save to something in your sinking funds. And then say you want to save and you want to put money in personal investment in a taxable account. So that was the heading. And then you choose which account. So now that you have these linked, if you set a goal under that account, it'll come here in your budget and it'll see how far you are from reaching that goal. And so here I just put in $500 fidelity investment. I can pick a frequency, so I'm going to put monthly. But you can see now when I added that, now I'm in the negative $190. And up here, when you're in the negative, it says expenses exceed income by 190. Reduce deficit to correct chart percentages. So here's where you would go and start refining and balancing. One more thing I'll touch on under budget is there's a what if budget option. This is for planning purposes. So you have your current budget, but say you're planning to buy another house, or you want to buy a car, you're changing jobs. All sorts of life changes happen where you want to play around with the numbers, and this allows you to do just that. So this budget is separate from your monthly budget that's used by the spreadsheet to calculate your or to help you with your cash flow tracking. And since it is a planning tool, I added a mortgage calculator in here that you can use to calculate your monthly payments, so that when you're planning, if you're planning to buy a house, you can have all of that information in one place. Finally, we get into cash flow. So the net worth and budget, those are things you do once you choose, hey, I'm going to take control of my finances. You do it once and that's it. Then every now and then you go and update account values, but you only have to do that once. The cash flow is an ongoing thing to make sure you have enough money to pay your bills that are due, and you're actually saving enough like you said you would, and you're investing like you said you would. This keeps you honest. So let me show you how to use it. So first thing you want to do is select a spending account. Why? Most people get their paychecks go into a checking account. And sure, they can have various credit cards, different bills, but ultimately those all end up getting paid from that checking account. So that's what we'll do here. You select a spending account. I'm going to select combined net worth, and I'm going to select an account that's under my cash heading. I want to select one of the checkings accounts. So let me select share checking. And when I do, you'll see this account value just updated to 5,000. That is because under my net worth, I got to delete these subheadings here, but my share checking is $5,000. Say I change that number to 7,500. It will update here. Okay, so those are linked now. Great. What next? Well, there's also credit cards that are linked down here. So let me change this balance. So let me make this $500. You will see when we go back to net worth, if I scroll down to credit cards, now this is $500 and the other one is 0. Okay, and this is the coolest thing about it right here. When you go select merge budget, I'm going to zoom out and you'll see what it does. It looks at the date at the top of the month. So that's today's date, November 1st. And it reads your budget and tells you what days you're getting paid that month, what days you have bills that are due, and what days you plan on savings. Okay, so for paid, it says I'm getting paid, or Max is getting paid on the 4th of the month. And all he put in was that he got paid. Oh, I have to go to current budget here. All he put in was that he got paid on July 15th. And now it knows, based on that pay schedule, the next time he will get paid. See here, he put in July 15th. It knows next time he gets paid will be November 4th. Next time after that is the 18th. And Sam, his wife, she also gets paid on the 4th because they have the same pay schedule. They both got paid before on the same day. If they were a week apart, this every month would automatically update to say, hey, Max, you're getting paid on the 4th. Sam's getting paid on the 7th, and so on. So when they say you get paid, so if Max just got paid, he got paid in full, $3,500. It'll show actual income is $3,500, and say Sam got paid as well. She got paid $3,500, so it'll show there's a status bar that shows how close you are to earning all the money you have planned for the month. And then this is where you would go in. You just got paid, so you just checked off and said, I got paid. And you would update your bank account here. So if you would open up your bank account and look at it. It should have gone up by $5,500, which would make this $13,000. You know, these numbers are a little high for a checkings account, but these are just hypotheticals here. Another thing I want to show you is you don't have to receive it in full. Say Sam worked a little overtime and her paycheck's actually $2,250. She puts that in. The checkbox for received disappears because now she put in an actual value, and now her actual income is reflected there. So what are we doing? We have an account value, account balance. We have your income, and then you have all these bills due. If you pay everything by the end of the month, this is how much money at the end of the month you'll have. Okay? So you do the same with your expenses. It's a nice place to check them off as you go to the month, and then you would open up your bank account, say you paid all of those, and now your bank account's down to say $9,500, and say you paid a couple of things on your credit card. You know, I'm just clicking things here. So your Max's credit card is now $350, and it's all linked, right? And it's the same for your savings. The savings, it was set up to be, instead of putting an exact date, it put in a pay date. So here, when Max gets paid on the 4th, right there, Max gets paid it says on the 4th, that's when he's planning to save, and that's where he would save. All right. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you find the spreadsheet to be useful. It is available on Etsy. It's currently on sale. And if you have any questions, drop a comment in the video or shoot me a personal message, and I'll be happy to get back to you. Best of luck in your in trying to reach your financial goals.